Alright, so um, I wanted to do a little bit of a channel update today. It's been a while since I've posted any videos, about a couple months or so. Um, I took notes here, but I'm gonna have to I'll go a little off the top of my head, but yeah, I've just been adjusting to work and stuff, and I've played some games here and there. I started Metal Gear 4, and what else did I play? Oh, I played some more Zelda. I got through the fire area, fire dungeon, and oh, and I beat Blaine in Pokemon and Pikachu. Uh, so yeah, but I haven't really had the desire to edit and stuff lately, and so today's May the 3rd, the year 2021, and I guess it's been 4 days now. I found out that my my ex-girlfriend Neon passed away in about the middle of March. Um, it's weird. The other day I was talking to a different ex, my first girlfriend Sabrina. That's how I met Neon, actually, through her. But she was talking about Neon and referred to her as my ex, and I was like, no, no, Jessica's my real ex, you know. That was so stupid. Uh, if you watch my Silent Hill videos, you can see how I was like, you know, so sad about Jessica leaving me, and that just seems so stupid now. Um, Especially considering that, like, you know, Neon would watch my videos, and so I mean, I'm sure it probably hurt her feelings to hear me talk that way. And that was supposed to be like a cathartic thing of moving on from Jessica, but even after that, I was still missing her. And if that had been the end, then you know, I might have come to the conclusion to see Neon sooner. But yeah, I mentioned I'd started a new job, and my training was in Navasota, where Neon's from. And you know, at first I was like, hey, you know, maybe the Lord wants me to be there to see her, you know. But you know, I had that some stupid loyalty to Jessica. Like, what if she try to talk to me? You know, I wouldn't want to lie to her about seeing Neon or whatever. Still, and you know, my mom was like, "Don't go over there. You know, just come right home." And so that whole time I was in Navasota, I never went to go see her. I was looking at the records I had to keep for my miles, and she had called me March the 6th, and you know, I was definitely there working at the time. Um, she had told me like a month or two ago that she was in the hospital here in Bryan, and she wanted me to visit her. And I think I just ignored her. Thought it would be too hard, you know, just being lazy and selfish. And and speaking of those Silent Hill videos, now I really feel like James, you know, having someone in the hospital dying. You know, I mean, and she was, you know, slowly. I mean, I guess it happened really fast, but like, you know, She didn't die in the hospital at that time, but someone that was dying and like asking for comfort, someone to be there that they loved. And you know I was just thinking about always wanting to move on, find someone else, find someone better, I guess. Because it's been, like, it's been 2 years since Jessica moved away. And, I only saw Neon a few more times after that in the past couple of years. And I think it had been about like 8 or 9 months since I'd seen her. And, when I would, I could notice that, like, she was getting heavier and it was harder for her to breathe. But I just, she was younger than me. She was only 30, so I kind of felt like I didn't take it as seriously. I thought, as usual, I always took it for granted that she'd be there. I seem to take people that love me for granted, a lot. But anyway, but yeah, she would, text me here and there, and I'd mostly just ignore her, or, not say much. I did explain to her that I needed time to get over, Jessica, and that, I wanted someone new, and, and I felt like I was supposed to, justify it in feeling upset that, you know, she didn't leave me alone when I was with Jessica, and it made me, I don't know if I explained that before, but like, when she called me, I think I did, but like, my mom had told her that I was with someone new, and ever since that moment, I had felt bad for her, and it kind of just drove a wedge between me and Jessica. But that's all my fault. It's got nothing to do with anyone else. I even blame my mom, for telling me that she, that she had called, and that she had to tell her that I was with Jessica now. So, I guess that's another lesson to learn, or just to own up to things, not blame other people for your mistakes. But yeah, I talked to my mom yesterday about it, and I told her how guilty I felt. I felt like if I had been there for her, she would have had something to live for. When I went to go find out the other day, I knocked on her window, and because I had, tried to message her, I would try to message her, or I'd unblock her, and in the past she would always know when I did that, and she would talk to me, because that meant, I feel like talking now. we would be on and off like that for a long time. In March, it would have been 9 years that I knew her. But yeah, when I did all that, at first I was trying to play it cool, like, well, I don't want to message her, but I'll unblock her, something stupid, because she'll know. And then I didn't hear from her, and then I tried messaging her. I tried messaging her, and then I tried calling her. And when it said, not, this person's not accepting calls, like, I thought maybe she just got a new number or something. Because I know she had another phone, but she had that same number for, as long as I've known her, just about. She might have always had that number, pretty much. And that's when I started to think that maybe she had passed away. Not seriously though, but a little bit, just because her mom had died just a month ago, you know. And she told me that about, you know, I'm not sure when she told me, maybe late February or something like that, that her mom had just died and she was going to have another surgery soon. And I asked, you know, when's your surgery? And I told her, you know, I'm sorry to hear about her, you know, your mom. But she was like, I'm not sure when my surgery is, but I just want to see you. And I never replied after that. And somewhere in that time to when I tried to get a hold of her, and you know, her telling me that, and then like I said, she had called me on the 6th, so probably somewhere in the middle of the month she had passed away too. So yeah, when I went to Navasota, you know, I knocked on her window and I honked, and I could see that the lights were off, you know, in her room. Like, it was daytime, but you could tell if she was in there, I guess. And I was backing out of the driveway, and her sister came out, and you know, I asked, "Is your sister around?" And she was like, "You know, I'm sorry to tell you that, you know, find out like this, but that she had passed on." You know, I could tell she was starting to tear up, and I was, you know, I was choking up too. And you know, all I asked, you know, was it like a health thing? And she was like, yeah, her health. And she said, you know, she was really depressed, and that she just gave up by the end, you know. And that's why I immediately felt so guilty, because, you know, I felt like I could have been there for her. You know, one of the excuses I would use not to go see her is like, well, I have to sneak in because her mom doesn't want me there, or, you know, my mom won't allow you over here, you know. I mean, I've been in this apartment for the last year, and it's like a 1 bedroom, and my mom's been with me, so it's not like she could come over in that whole time. And like I said, it'd been about 8 months since I'd seen her, so. But you know, I could have made time. It was just excuses. And I was right there in Navasota, you know. I could have seen her. So yeah, I felt guilty that, you know, I felt like she had died alone, feeling like I didn't care about her. But, you know, something I thought and that my mom told me too was like, you know, you should be happy for her because she's in heaven, you know. She's with the Lord, and she's not suffering anymore. I can't hurt her, and no one else can hurt her anymore, you know. She would get teased a lot online because she was a real popular streamer of, you know, like Smite. She had played Smite a lot, and she was like world ranked, you know, on Xbox, like #1 and some shit, like the #1 Aphrodite. And I just went on Twitter the other day and I looked up her like screen name, and there's like all this hate towards her, and she would tell me about that stuff sometimes, and you know, it was just like internet drama, you know. In the past, we'd always fight about her spending too much time with other people online. Like when we were younger, I was 25, you know, and she was 21 when we met. So, you know, I was immature now. You know, I was very immature back then and very sensitive. And so, you know, I was always upset about her flirting with guys online and stuff like that, and, you know. But Anyways, I totally went off my notes, by the way. I had kind of like a sequence of things to talk about. But it's just, I figured it was going to be all over the place, kind of. Um, but anyway, oh yeah, so yeah, I wrote that, it would have been 9 years in March that we had known each other. Um, the way we met, she had a, I was dating, I had mentioned Sabrina, so this was, back in, shit, like 2008 or so, when I was living with Sabrina, and she had this old, big gray laptop, shitty laptop. I would download nudes in like 20 minutes for a JPEG, but probably longer. But I would get on Plenty of Fish because you know I was always an asshole looking for some another girl, when I was with her. But anyway, that was the first time I saw Neon. She had a profile on there, and I thought she was really hot in the pictures. She had a picture of like her in her panties, like in front of a like a full length mirror, And but I thought her profile was weird because she was like, "Oh, I'm living with someone, but I want to have like another boyfriend or something," But I was like, that sounds off, but I was really attracted to her, so I sent her uh, like a message, And I remember she never replied to me. And then years later, in 2012, when we met, um, I was texting Sabrina because we'd always just remained kind of friends, and she said she was having drinks and with this guy who was a friend of hers, and this girl who, when she said who it was, I was like, oh, I know that girl. She's from the Plenty of Fish. And it's like, oh, she's dating that guy. And I knew that guy because he had kind of liked Sabrina, but he was like they were friends. And they had a friend named Donna. And Donna was dating that guy. And I remember he like beat the shit out of her one time. We had to pick her up. And I just didn't like that guy. He was always a weird guy. And it seemed like he wanted to be with Sabrina too. But anyway, so I knew who the guy was and her, and I was like, hey, can you give her my number and explain who I was? And then we started texting from there. And at the time I was working at HEB, and apparently her and that guy were living, well, yeah, they were, I didn't know it at the time, but they were living in like a shitty little place near that HEB. Because I thought it was weird because I saw him come in one time and he bought something, through my lane. And I can tell we both knew each other, but we didn't say anything. He always looked kind of mad, But I don't know. Then eventually she would come up there and talk to me, and we eventually, decided to hang out. And I remember I like picked her up, and that guy called me, and he was like, "I'll kill you if you fucking touch her," or something. And so I remember we watched that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake. I watched that last night, and that was our first night together. I remember she had a 3DS, like a teal, the glittery teal one, and and she had Plants vs Zombies, which is why I have this on here. And she was like, "Come here, let's sit next to each other, and I'll show you how to play this." And she had the stylus, and she was clicking on it, and I was kind of like mesmerized. And that was like the moment I fell in love with her. And and we watched the movie, and we had some some good, really good times. Good time that night. And from then on, it was kind of a dramatic series of events, because I really liked her, but she was also living with this guy. And so for a long time we were like fighting over her. um, One time they were arguing, and I went over there, and she was like, "I want to come live with you." She would say this a few times. And I went over there, and she was like grabbing her stuff, and and remember, he had this rug on the ground, and we were like standing there kind of faced off, and he like pulled the rug out from under me literally, and I fell. But we didn't fight though. I kind of just held back, and at that time anyway. And she stayed the night with me, and she had like a bag of stuff, and then the next day, she wanted to go back or whatever, and that made me mad. And I had bought her the first time yeah, we had hung out at HEB or whatever. She saw this little Hello Kitty thing. Like, its mouth would open up like all the way, and it had like, I don't know what it was, like candy or something in it. Like, you could put candy in it, or it would make a sound. Anyway, she said she liked it, and so I bought it for her. And then when she went back to that guy that time, I like grabbed her stuff, because she had just left it there, and I like threw it on her front lawn. Something I'd do again later. And I like broke the Hello Kitty. I like threw it on the ground. But yeah, it was weird when I would go over there when he was not there. One time he even came in while I was there, and it was, needless to say, really awkward. But you know and then after she left that place, they had gotten a different place on Cabot Street. And I would do the same thing. Like, when he wasn't there, I would sneak in over there. And, and one time I jumped in the window when they weren't there, and I took that 3DS because she would steal stuff from me, and I was so mad. I stole that 3DS for a little while. I remember I buried it in the yard. I put a bag over it just in case she came looking. It took her a while to realize I took it, and then she was really mad. But she ended up stealing my purple 3DS later on, so it was all good. But yeah, and then around that time, I think they had split up, and she said they'd split up, but she had moved back to Navasota to be with her mom and her sister. And like, and we'd hang out over there. But sometimes I would see her car at the other guy's place still. I would drive by there. She used to drive a Dodge Neon, ironically enough. It was like kind of like a reddish one. I don't know. She eventually sold it, I think, to buy an Xbox One. But at least it was the nice one, like the terabyte, when it was new. But anyway, so yeah, we would fight about that stuff a lot. And and then another time she had wanted to come live with me, and I think it lasted a little bit longer, not much. But then she had gone back again, and I had thrown her stuff out on the lawn. It was Easter, I remember, because I'd made a brisket. Um, but yeah, anyway, in terms of following the notes, yeah, but I mean, just when we first met, I thought she was so cool. Like, she was really into like Mario, Nintendo, and we both got into like the same music. Like dubstep was new, and we got into like Borgore, and we both like metal, and she was like a scene girl, you know, if you know what that is, and when she was younger. But so, you know, I like that about her. I liked her style. My mom was telling me this yesterday, but you know, it's exactly what I thought. She was very bubbly and full of life, and just kind of in your face a little bit. Uh, one of the one of the early times we were together, she, my dad was in jail, and I was gonna go visit him, and she wanted to come with me, and so it was like a video screen, you know, and you'd just get on the phone and look at the video screen, and she wanted to pop in, and she was like, "Hi, Dad," you know, she called him Dad, and she was just really cute, and she was just, you know, she was telling him, and she would tell my mom too, like, "Oh, you made a handsome boy or whatever, and he's so hot or whatever," you know, she'd say stuff like that. Um, but I think my parents just thought she was too, I don't know, too upfront, I guess, maybe. But I always thought that was really cute. And my mom remembered that time. She was telling me about that. But yeah, anyways. And some of my timelines are a little off. Like, I think when she moved to Navasota, it was a little bit later. Because before then, I remember she was working at Hastings. I talked about Hastings before in another videos. It's like an electronics store, but with like, you know, nerdy stuff. And anyway, you know, at that time when she was with him, I was like really crazy over her. I would, you know, follow them, you know, leaving Golden Corral and shit, and I would like watch her outside of Hastings, um, like at night, you know. But one time I went in there when we were talking, and I remember she became like a key holder there, and I'd always wanted to work at Hastings, so I was super jealous. But I just, you know, she was carrying like a big stack of movies, you know, putting them away, and I was helping her, and she just seemed really happy there. And I remember I had bought the book To Selena with Love by Chris Bettis. I remember I bought her that book and I left it in her car, and one day, and you know, and that was a long time ago, and I had looked on her Instagram, and she had told me that she still had it too, but I kind of forgotten. But um, like last year, she had posted a picture of it late last year, so she still had the book that I bought her back then. You know, that made me cry. You know, I've been crying a lot the past few days. But anyway, yeah. And I was trying to think of like, because for a long time she didn't work, but before, when I was trying to think of her when she was working, and she worked at what was it, Ross, and they had DJ Hero there, and she told me about it, and I remember I bought that because of her, because they had that there. There's just, when you think about stuff, all these random memories kind of come flooding back in, and I don't know. I just want to like write them all down or document them, But anyway, like, and then eventually she did. Move to Navasota, back to Navasota, and I remember one time. You see, my timelines are all off because like there was a long time where we weren't, talking. It was always like that. There were, months where we wouldn't talk, but we would always, at some point, reach out to each other. One of us would, and but yeah, I was like, I would follow her, and I was just crazy, stalker and shit. Yeah, I remember I bought her first Xbox 360, and because we were coming back from Navasota, and I remember I got like a flat tire, and there's like a tire shop right in front of Target, so we went to the tire shop and got it fixed, and then I went to Target and she asked me for an Xbox, and then I bought her that, and that's when sort of the second phase of our problem started, because I remember I'd loaned her a bunch of games and stuff, and like one of the early games she got into was Left 4 Dead, and we'd play that together for a little bit, but quickly, she would play with other people, and eventually it would be like flirting with other guys and stuff like that, and so that was really the main problem for a long time, after that point. You know, even though we always wanted to see each other, or at least I always wanted to see her, you know, she definitely liked that attention, I guess, and I would always, just get upset and make ultimatums or whatever, but, I really loved her, and, I just had to put up with it, I guess. But yeah, and then eventually she really got into like Destiny and stuff, and for a long time I hated those games because I felt like it took her away from me, and all these other guys were in, even though it was online, like still. I don't know. Maybe I was too sensitive or whatever, or maybe I should have tried harder to be a part of it too. But I'm just not really like that. I think it's weird to play with another guy and a girl, that you're with. But anyway. Yeah, I remember one time I had bought her like a copy of Black Ops 2 for us to play together. Or I think no, she had borrowed mine. Or it was one that I had let her borrow, and I was really mad because she wouldn't give it back to me because she was playing with other guys and meeting other guys from that game, you know. And I went over to her house at night one time, and her mom answered. And then I was like, I just need, want my game or whatever. And then she came out and she was super pissed, you know. And then she started like hitting me in the face, and not hard, you know. It wasn't hard enough to even leave a mark, but she was just like punching me in the face. And I remember I called the cops, and they came over, and they just kind of split us up and told us to cool off and stuff like that, you know. But I mean, that's just how upset I was at the time. You know, obsessive over like her talking to other people. You know, I know later on in life, she told me she really regretted doing all that because, it's weird. It's like I really loved her back then, and then later on, she really, really loved me, but it's rarely ever at the same time, you know. But I guess it makes those moments stand out more now. Even though it was 9 years, you know, it should, we should have spent more time together in that time. There was a lot of times where we just weren't talking. And that's, unfortunate, I guess. But anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, so I wrote like after I got in that DUI, after my like, I don't know, 27th, 28th birthday. Uh, there was a moment in there where like I moved into like a duplex, the last place I was at, and that's sort of when we like had our kind of like second wind, our second relationship. And, I have a lot of good memories from that time period, around like 2015, 2016, somewhere in that area. Uh, we just love watching movies together, and she would bring over her TV and her Xbox, and we'd both play, you know, different stuff, but next to each other, at least. But, and even then we would still fight about her talking to guys online and stuff she'd say to them or whatever. But, when we'd watch movies, she would always want me to like rewind something, even from the beginning. I always thought that was cute. Something would happen and she'd be like, rewind, rewind, let's see that again, I would do stuff to make her laugh, like really uncontrollably hard, When I would play Streets of Rage and Axel would say, bare knuckle, like that just made her laugh for some reason when I would do it. And in Galaxy Quest at the beginning, when Alan Rickman's like in the mirror in the dressing room, he's like I cannot go out there, but the way he said it, I would do the impression like, cannot go out there, and like she loved Alan Rickman because we would watch Harry Potter a lot. And, I always say this, but like, a lot of couples, they have songs or whatever, but with me it's more like movies that I have with girls that it makes me think about those times, But I have memories because I remember like the movies that we watched, But, Yeah, and then I don't know what it was. I guess there was a period where we just, one of those times where we weren't talking, and during that time, I had made that transition to sort of getting over her. Uh, and I talk about that in that Catherine video that I made after me and Neon broke up. We must have had some kind of an argument. Uh, and I'm actually going to re-upload that video because I would cut out a little part at the beginning that talked about my relationship with Neon. I thought I talked about it more in that video, but really I didn't. I even talked about a different breakup at the end, but I want to re-upload that just because I don't know why I wanted to cut that part out about my relationship with Neon. I was so mean, like I felt like, you know, uh, she would comment on my Instagram and stuff, and I would delete the comments. And you know, in a way, maybe she felt like I was trying to get back at her for all the times that I would read comments that she would make on other people's posts that it would hurt my feelings. But and even on my YouTube, some of the comments I deleted, and not all of them, thankfully. There's like one or two on there. But anyway, but yeah, anyway, so then, I met Jessica, and then we had that first breakup, and I'm pretty sure we didn't talk in between because I was so, heartbroken over Jessica for that first breakup. Um, but I mean, maybe we did. I just don't remember. We probably did hang out a couple times in between there. But then after I got back with Jessica, and then things weren't working out, then that's when, I went to go see Neon and cheated, on Jessica. And maybe I kind of felt like I was using Neon in a way to break up, or to, try and get even, I guess, with Jessica, because she had been with someone else. And so, if she could accept that, then I could accept it, But she couldn't obviously accept me cheating like that. And, that's when she decided to move eventually. Not long after that. And I remember when she moved, and the first time I saw Neon after that, she thought, well, now that Jessica's gone, I don't have to feel guilty about seeing her, and I'm sure maybe she was probably happy in a way that Jessica was out of the picture, but I was just too heartbroken to like totally let go, I always held back around Neon after that. I would ignore her a lot, or not say much. And when I would go see her, I was just at arm's length, I mean, not that bad in person, more when we weren't together, but, it's just not as close as I could have been. She would tell me she loved me, and I wouldn't say it back, really. Part of me wanted to just, have her be my girlfriend at that point, but I always felt like I could do better or whatever, and she had, gained a lot of weight, and, I'd noticed, like I said before, she had a hard time breathing. But I mean, and she probably thought maybe I didn't wasn't attracted to her. But I mean, we were together. She would always turn me on, and maybe not as much as before, but you know, anytime I would think of her, it would always turn me on because I thought she was beautiful. I like big girls. And it was always really good with her. I just wish I hadn't had that stupid loyalty for Jessica. Like, why would I be loyal now when she's gone? She's thousands of miles away. It's just stupid. I should have just had fun with Neon while I could have. Make her happy. Because ultimately, I do get more pleasure from making someone else happy in a relationship. But, like I said, just the love wasn't there like I wanted it to be. But anyway, yeah, so, about 8 months ago was the last time I saw her. And like I said, she would text me here and there and I would ignore her. And then she told me about the hospital and I didn't go see her. And then she told me about her mom dying in February, and even then I didn't respond right away. But at least I did get to say, I'm sorry to hear that, and I wanted to know when her next surgery was, because I thought, well, I should be there for that. But I just didn't take it seriously enough, and by the time I wanted to reach out, it was too late. I wanted to do this video earlier, but I'm glad I didn't because there's no way I could have gotten through it. I'm only not crying now because talking to my mom yesterday really helped me put things into perspective and be happy for Neon. And, now she always gets to be with me. Every time I play a game, we'll always be together, playing it together. And, she knows that I do care about her and I do love her. And I'm glad that I got to spend her prime years, and my prime years together. Our best years. And even with the fighting and stuff, we had a lot of, great times, and I have a lot of great memories of her. It just, obviously it just made me feel bad that she always held on to those memories too. And that's all she had at the end. I was, and as far as my channel update, I guess, I didn't know what to really do anymore. I thought, well, maybe that's it, I'll just won't record, won't stream anymore. But, when I would upload videos, I would always at least get one view. And, I know that Neon watched a lot of my videos, which, like I said, makes it hard that she probably saw the stuff I said in that Silent Hill video. But, I'm thankful that I have videos with her in the background talking and stuff, and us together. And I just remembered on my another Twitch channel, there's a video of us playing Minecraft together, so I'm gonna upload that. And you know, I'm making a playlist with all the videos that she's in the background of, or that I'm playing with her. And you know, and I feel bad too, because when I would stream, you know, I always say I like to stream with no one watching so I can be free to talk or whatever. But there'd always be someone watching, you know, and I know it was her. That's why I feel bad. I stopped streaming the last couple months to like just record like this, you know, because whenever I would see a viewer pop up, I would stop the stream, you know, because I didn't want anyone watching. You know, not that it was probably always her, but I mean, I know it was her sometimes. And in the back of my mind, whenever I'd upload a YouTube video, it was weird. I would always hope that she would watch it, but also like be upset that she would watch it. I don't know. I feel so stupid, you know. But anyway, I was just thinking that I would upload a little bit for her, and so still doing videos might, you know, be good. You know, she might still want to see that in heaven, you know. My videos, so you know, I'll probably still try and upload stuff. It's kind of getting hard to like edit full playthroughs and stuff, so I don't know, I might have to change up, or you know, I want to change up a little bit the type of videos I do, you know, shorter, more, just more of my thoughts, and you know, I don't know, but I mean, I don't think I'll give up making videos just because, you know, Neon was like my biggest fan. One time, what was that movie where Jack Black goes total stalkerazzi? I remember I said that to her in reference to like her in my videos, and she just made her laugh. I just really miss her, and I'm trying to think of something good that could come out of it, you know? I certainly don't miss Jessica anymore. Not like, not like I was, you know? You know? I just want to live, you know, my life for her in a way, you know? She wouldn't want me to, like, be down, sad. You know, if she could have just held on, you know, I would have been there. And I know she wouldn't want me to give up. And hopefully I can do something to, you know, keep her memory alive. I was thinking if I could have a daughter, I would name her Neon. Because I'm hopeful that's the reason that she never got pregnant, you know. I mean, I know it was probably just her health or her body composition or whatever, but I mean, really, it's the Lord's will, and you know, it wasn't meant to happen with her, I guess, but I pray that when it does, you know, she'll be happy about it, and that I can do that. I don't want to like forget anything, but you know, I'm sure it won't be the last time I talk about her. And like I said, I'm gonna upload that video, that Minecraft video. I kind of want to do like a Tekken music video dedicated to her, where I play Lucky Chloe. I was thinking about Josie, but Lucky Chloe definitely seems more appropriate. Plus, that was my first character in Tekken 7, so with the cat ears and the pop thing, pop idol thing, the headphones. That's definitely very neon. It makes me think of her. I always told her she was like an anime character brought to life. You know, that was her personality. And she was so beautiful. And I just hope that I made her a little bit happy. And I can't wait till I get to see her again one day. I remember when Gimli died, Charlie, she said the most comforting thing to me. She was like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but she was like, you have a kitty guardian, you know? And Neon always thought of herself as like a kitty. So now I have another guardian, another kitty guardian. She even put a cat on my Xbox bio. Let's see if I can see it. You see the little kitty there? I guess because she did it on Xbox One, you can't really tell what it says. But it's something like Sad Kitty or something. I'll have to show that off when I get back on Xbox One. My mom's been using it. But I remember one day I just saw that on there. And she just, I don't know, she got into my account and put that on there. I'm really glad she did. Xbox will always make me think of her. There's a lot of things that'll always make me think of her.